So be it, Jedi.
What's going on, guys? Back in another video, another episode of Read It or Skip It. Today we're going to be talking about Kenobi by John Jackson Miller. Published in 2014, this is the last, or one of the last, expanded universe novels before Disney pulled the plug. Taking place just a short while after the events of Revenge of the Sith, we see Obi-Wan heading to Tatooine, dropping off Luke and trying to keep his head down, and doing what he must do, and that is protecting Luke. This is a story that surprised me. I mean, if you think about it, there isn't a whole lot that can go on in the 19 years that Obi-Wan's on Tatooine in exile. It's kind of why the Disney Plus series just doesn't make any sense, but I digress. This is a story about Obi-Wan's interaction with the people on Tatooine and how no matter what, he really can't stop being who he truly is, and that is a Jedi. I'll admit, it's a slow start. A friend of mine who started this novel a few months ago only got about 30 or 40 pages in and kind of just got petered out. After about 100, I was really starting to get compelled, but the first good bit is pretty boring. Overall, I'd say I was genuinely surprised at how well I enjoyed this book. Obviously, this is one you should read. Okay, so pump the brakes. We're going to get into some spoilers, so if you don't want it ruined for you, go ahead and click away. For some more specific details, the story revolves around a man named Oren Galt, who is obviously a moisture farmer, because that's the only jobs they have on Tatooine. But he also runs a business called the Settler's Call, where when you pay a monthly subscription, something goes down, ring the bell, they'll come and save you, primarily focusing on Tusken attacks. Another character in close relation with Oren is Annalene Caldwell, owner of a bar/store in this little podunk town called the Oasis, where most of the characters live. Her husband and Oren were really good friends, and when her husband passed, he kind of took up the role as father figure for her two kids, but it's not really official. Needless to say, they spend a lot of time together. Another titular character, to my surprise, is actually a Tusken Raider by the name of Ayark. Ayark undoubtedly hates Oren Galt and pretty much any other human for him having slaughtered so many of his people, and Tuskens just don't think the way normal humans do. So you might ask, what do these characters have anything to do with Obi-Wan? Well, he gets himself involved with these characters on accident. Try as he might, he really can't avoid it. He just keeps getting drug into their business, whether that be by circumstance or the fact that he's just a good person. By nature, Obi-Wan just wants to do what's right. See, after the Tuskens attack the Oasis, Obi-Wan steps in to help. We later learn Oren really isn't the shining character that he makes himself out to be. He's in debt with the Hutts, he's doing some shady things, and overall he's pretty bloodthirsty towards the Tuskens. Obi-Wan soon realizes this and meets with Ayark to discuss what's going to go down. The Tuskens want revenge. Obi-Wan just wants to keep everybody safe. But there needs to be justice for the Tuskens and justice against Oren Galt for what he's done. Ayark has beef with Oren primarily because he killed her son. Her? Yeah, we find out that Ayark isn't a male Tusken. She's actually a female, which is a complete twist, and it's pretty cool. Ayark thinks Annalene is a Jedi because she saw what she thinks is Annalene using the Force to save her daughter, but in actuality it was Obi-Wan. Upon finding out Obi-Wan is a Jedi, she ends up respecting him and wants him to join her clan. He denies, obviously, so they work out a deal where justice is served and everyone lives happily ever after. Oren's charade comes to a climactic conclusion, and he ends up being wrapped up in Tusken bandages and has to walk with them until he dies, essentially. He knows Obi-Wan's a Jedi, but he swears he'll never talk again, which is just the only silly part of this whole story. Annalene, who has at this point become pretty fond of Obi-Wan, ends up leaving Tatooine altogether with her two children to go and carry out her dreams of traveling the galaxy and studying other worlds. Forgive me, but this is a very condensed plot of the story. I mean, I can't go into every little detail and nuance, but I think I got the gist across. Overall, as I said, I was pleasantly surprised at how much I really enjoyed this story once I got past the first 100 pages. I've got to commend the author because, I mean, it really is a daunting task to try to tell a good story about Obi-Wan while he's in exile because, as I said, it doesn't really make sense if he leaves Tatooine gallivanting off in the galaxy. He's got to stay there to protect Luke. I mean, That's an adamant plot detail in this story. I have to protect the boy. Yoda ordered him to. He knows that there is the only hope the Jedi have is Luke. That pretty much wraps it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you end up picking this book up and reading it if you haven't read it already, and I didn't spoil it too much for you. The next book I'll be covering is The Truce of Bakura by Kathy Tyers. Sorry this took so long. I know I posted the up-and-coming review like 3 weeks ago. I didn't get around to do anything last week, so this is kind of pushed back further than necessary. So the next book review won't be 3-4 weeks in between. Probably get started on that next week. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. If it's your first time here, you like what you see, consider subscribing. It'd mean a lot. We're just over 125 subscribers, and the closing goal is 200. So help out if you can. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.